Well, good evening, race fans. We are here tonight with the SCSRA Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series here tonight in Chicagoland. And it is race number 2 in the chase, getting set up for the chase and all the excitement that'll follow. And these drivers raring and ready to put on a great show here tonight in Chicagoland. Glad to see that this track is coming back. We'll be seeing them race here again in real life soon. Like Chicagoland, we obviously lost briefly there when they brought out the Chicago street race, and so it should be a good one. I'm excited. So are the racers here tonight as we are getting ready to set the show. So 10 minutes left in practice here. Wow, it was a wild spin out there from the 27 of Tristan Cotton. First time we've seen him in the field for season 12 here tonight. Rookie of the Year status still pretty much tied up by Holden Wheeler. It's only a matter of time, actually, in the next couple races that it'll be tied up completely. With 4 races left to go here. 3 of them after tonight, of course. 101-point lead for Holden Wheeler, Christopher Bishop in second. It may very well be tied up here tonight at the end of this race, as points will be slim to acquire and close that gap for Christopher Bishop. Bishop in the field here. He's 8th fastest in practice. Holden Wheeler, 5th fastest here in the practice session so far. Right there, you got the 24 last week's winner at Richmond. 24 of Matt Parasini, your current, your regular season champion, and also current points leader. Wrong graphic. There we go. That's what I was looking for. So yes, rolling into tonight after his 3rd win, last race at Richmond, Matt Parasini has a 4-point lead over his teammate Garrett Walden and a 19-point lead over the rookie sensation Holden Wheeler. Matt Band's also in the mix there, tied with Holden Wheeler for 3rd in the points. Vince Brent, teammate with the top 2 there, so you got pretty much a lockdown. 3 of the top 5 coming from Cypress Academy. And then Ryan Gomes, Lauren Vincent, Colin Hoffman, Christopher Bishop, David Hartney, Josh Hall, and Sharn Hill. Sharn Hill had to miss last week's race, and it looks like he might be short of this one at the moment. Still got 6 minutes for folks to join the lobby, join the race here. But at the moment, only 13 logged in with 6 minutes left in practice. As always, I love to give shout outs to our sponsors, and I'm going to start here with 6 minutes left in practice. Shout out to our sponsors. Of course, first and foremost, tonight's broadcast presented by Dev Sports Cards, primary partner of the SCSRA and a consistent supporter of the league. Their eBay store has a fresh batch of auctions closing soon, from star rookies to vintage chase cards, plus 25-cent combined shipping on qualifying orders. If you want to support the people who support sim racing, check out Dev Sports Cards on eBay before those listings expire. Butt Kicker, bringing a whole new dimension to immersive entertainment. Butt Kicker has pioneered tactile feedback technology that lets you feel the action. Whether you're behind the wheel in a sim rig, watching a blockbuster in your home theater, or in the studio dialing in the low end, with 2 decades of industry leadership, their haptic transducers convert audio signals into physical vibration, turning sounds into sensations. If you've ever wished you could feel that racing shift, explosion, or bass drop, Butt Kicker makes it real. And the hidden opponent. In racing, everyone prepares for the competitors they can see, but one of the toughest opponents a driver can never face shows up. That a driver can face never shows up on the timing screen. The hidden opponent is tackling the mental health battle inside the helmet, educating athletes, supporting teams, and giving the racing community language, tools, and leadership to talk about what usually stays silent. Because when drivers confront the hidden opponent, it doesn't just make them faster, it makes the whole garage stronger. Of course, down in the bottom, wherever you're watching here tonight, the links to our sponsors are prominently featured in the description. So give them a look, check them out if interested. Always glad to have sponsors aligned with Intensity Broadcasting. I feel like tonight Chicagoland may be a bit of an unknown, as a lot of these drivers probably have not had this track in their rotation of tracks that they run at. So tonight could be kind of a big wild card. I don't know who is going to be the contenders yet. We'll have to definitely stay tuned and see. But because Chicagoland had fallen out of favor for so many years in the last handful of years, many of these drivers probably don't have a whole lot of experience within the last 5 years racing here. During our post-race interviews, it's been kind of the common trend with what the drivers were saying. Chicagoland, kind of a mixed bag, not sure what to expect. Yes, it is a mile and a half, similar to, like a Charlotte or a Texas, some of the other tracks that we went to this year. But it is very unique in its layout. It does have kind of a interesting characteristic that most mile and a halves don't have, and it kind of is in a constant state of rotation. There's no true straightaway at Chicagoland. It's kind of a gradual backstretch turn. It is a straight, but it does kind of bow out like a very, very mild arch. And so with 2 minutes left in practice here, it looks like Devin Butchino has joined. So we got 14 cars in the field set up and ready to qualify here shortly. Setups are definitely going to be, the interesting part here, because this is a track that has not actually featured racing with the next-gen car. The setups that iRacing may have provided, or the setup that they decided to go with, could definitely factor into tonight's race. Seeing some of these cars slip and slide around on the racetrack, getting a feel for what the car is capable of doing here tonight. You're watching Ryan Gomes there in the 55 Ford for Neon Racing. Definitely digging the Kyle Busch tribute schemes here. You got the 24 of Matt Pericini. Matt Bands also with a tribute scheme. If we can get a different angle on the camera with the 3Chi. CarQuest kind of duo. You got KBM on the car there. Pretty neat. Kind of the best of both eras of Kyle Busch, basically from the beginning with his days at Hendrick Motorsport up until his time with Richard Childress with the 3Chi front end there. And Band second fastest in practice here. 22 seconds left Only one car left on track, and we're going to be rolling into qualifying here tonight. 14 cars made the show. Sharn Hill looks like out, not going to be making the field unless he comes in during qualifying here. And I'm thinking even another one of our title contenders might be missing. Got Vince Brent's here, Gomes is here, Vincent is also here, Colin Hoffman is here, Christopher Bishop is also in the lineup, but Hartney and Sharn Hill both absent, so no David Hartney and no Sharn Hill. So hot potato style as we right there, one of your Rookie of the Year contenders, Christopher Bishop. At this point, would need a miracle to catch Holden Wheeler for that Rookie of the Year honor. Crazier things have happened. Still, with 4 races left to go, maybe a few things could fall his way to close that gap, but it's going to be hard. There he is coming for his first timed lap here. Bonus points are definitely going to help. Fact of the matter is he is alive in both championships, the Rookie of the Year honors and the chase. He's in the top 12 for the chase, so as long as you show up each week, you've got a chance. Never know what could happen. So his first timed lap here, right at the line, is going to be obviously best lap since it's the first lap, but it looks like they discredited the lap, so not going to count that lap time. Parasini jumps to the top with a 30.24. Lauren Vincent, second quickest with a 30.36. Then, of course, we had Colin Hoffman, fastest in practice. Here he is already top the board with a 30 flat, 30.00. We also got Vince Brent on track here, warming up his tires, getting ready to go. Josh Hall just finished his lap with a 30.30. Let's see what Colin Hoffman's second lap is going to be, if it'll be quicker than a 30 flat. Right at the line, a 30.30, so slower on his second lap. Holden Wheeler, second lap also a little bit slower, right across the line. Anthony Strickland in the number 21 with a Kyle Busch Interstate Batteries tribute scheme. Comes across the line there, his second lap. Good for fifth quickest with a 30.32. Vince Brent's going to have his first timed lap in here. So Colin Hoffman has the potential pole at the moment. Vince Brent's coming across the line, second quickest with a 30.13. And here we got Matt Bands. He's getting his tires warmed up. So is Devin Butchino. Here we have Ryan Gomes, already one lap in, a 30.44. That is ninth quickest. Vince Brent's second lap. Looks like as good as his first lap. Oh, Gomes on his second lap slams into the wall. Band's coming in for his first lap in qualifying here. Second quickest, 30.07, so still has a shot to try and pick it up on the second lap here. Devin Butchino, sixth quickest with a 30.25. And Bands loses it, goes through the grass right as we pipped away there. Does not get a second lap to his name. Here we got Devin Butchino. Looks like he's going to get his second lap in the books here. First lap, sixth quickest. Second lap. He's going to have to be content with 6th as his second lap was slower. So trend seems to be developing. Second lap is not as good as the first. Garrett Walden 4th quickest with his first timed lap. That bumps Matt Parasini all the way back to 5th. 1 and 2 in the points, 4th and 5th at the moment. Actually, 1, 2, 3 with 4, 5, and 6 for the most part. Walden's second lap in the books here. Not going to be any quicker. Holds on for 4th as time runs out in qualifying. So here we go. Your starting lineup here tonight for the 150 lap main event at Chicagoland. It's going to be Colin Hoffman with pole position, fastest in practice, followed that up with fast time in qualifying. So one heck of a run to start the evening here for Colin Hoffman. Next is Matt Baines and Vince Brent, followed by Garrett Walden and Matt Parasini. Then it is Holden Wheeler, Devin Butchino, Josh Hall, Anthony Strickland, and Christopher Bishop. Then you got Lauren Vincent, Ryan Gomes, AJ Evangelista, and Tristan Cotton. 14-car field here tonight for 150 laps. We will have stage break at lap 40. So they'll be racing towards lap 40 to start this evening. But like I was saying, tonight could be a bit of a wild card as most of these drivers don't have a whole lot of intel on Chicagoland. So it's going to be interesting to see. I'm sure we'll still see a lot of the usual suspects running up front fighting for the win. Usually Holden Wheeler and Matt Parasini. Hard to beat at just about any track you put them at. But Colin Hoffman getting the pole here tonight. That is his first pole here in Season 12. And Matt Baines alongside of him. Those, are two very unique drivers to start up front here tonight. If they have the track position, it could be a big game changer. As we coast around here to get this thing started. 14 drivers. 10 of your chasers in the field here tonight. 4 non-chase drivers mixing it up with the contenders for the championship. As they're getting all bunched up, the pace car pulls off.
Green, green, green.
And we're rolling here tonight in Chicagoland. Colin Hoffman gets the early advantage here over the 72 of Matt Baines. 3 wide behind them, almost 3 wide for the lead. They settle into 2 by 2. For your front 5. Good run here from Vince Brent, but he has to let out of the gas a little bit. That momentum is very key in these next-gen cars. If you let off the throttle even a little bit, it's like hitting a brick wall. That 09 car, or the 92 rather, definitely felt the effects of that, letting out of the gas, and he lost about 4 spots there right in one turn. Colin Hoffman kisses the wall there just a hair. Holden Wheeler on the attack looking for 3rd place. All in the meanwhile, Matt Baines has taken over the lead. And trying to set it in cruise control at the moment. Garrett Walden gains 2 spots up to second. Holden Wheeler gains 3 spots up to third, as Colin Hoffman from pole position dropped all the way back to 4th here. He is under attack now by the 24, Matt Parasini. Very early in the race here tonight. You definitely want to take it easy, get a feel for the track while it's still early. Don't push the envelope too hard. Matt Baines up front for Sentinel Motorsports. Him and his teammate Holden Wheeler running 1-3. And they also, seems like they've got Anthony Strickland in the camp here tonight running with them for Sentinel Motorsports. So kind of a calm, calculated opening here tonight as Matt Parasini making the move, take over that position. Matt Baines under attack for the race lead as well. Garrett Walden's right there alongside of him. 2 by 2 between the top 5 there. You got the front and the back. 3 wide maybe here shortly. Garrett Walden still fighting as hard as he can there to get the lead away from Matt Baines, but here comes the 09 of Holden Wheeler. Holden Wheeler railing around the outside here, has a good run, catching up to the 72. Sentinel Motorsports 1-2 at the moment. Holden off the position. No, Holden's getting turned, saves it, recovers, and he's spinning into the grass. Tough break for Holden. Just some close racing there, I think, that got a little too close for comfort. And he's in the grass. Let's dial up a quick replay on that situation. 43, Garrett Walden right behind him. Just carried that momentum a little too hot. Amazingly, Holden Wheeler had it saved there for a moment. Had to go through the grass. Spins a full 360. And he's going to lose all of that advantage. Right now at risk of being in lap down territory. But Matt Baines cruising up front here.
The yellow flag is out.
And we've got our first caution of the evening. As we wait for them to catch up to the pace car here, let us go ahead and dial up the butt kicker replay and see what brings out the caution here. Alrighty, so looks like it is the 15 of Christopher Bishop. Loses it right on the exit of turn 4, goes flying through the grass on the front stretch here. Once he gets back on the paved part of the racetrack, just loses it completely. Spinner out, and caution falls on the racetrack. No harm, no foul for the 15. As he's still trying to get it figured out there, woed up. flying into the grass and bringing out the caution here. It's very early and hard to tell. Pit stops may be a factor here. And a couple drivers faked out there thinking about pitting, but figuring that track position is far more important here. If you're at the front half of the field, no takers. The only one I could have maybe seen may have been Holden Wheeler after he spun, maybe to get some fresh tires thrown on that 09, but he is going to stay out as well. And this, too, is kind of a fortunate break for Holden Wheeler. Now it's going to get him brought back up to the field and not be at risk of going lap downs. So this was definitely the caution that Holden was looking towards, wanting to get here, get stacked back up with the leaders. Still not even halfway through the first stage run here tonight. 40 laps, that stage break. 30 laps, well, be about 24 laps or so once the restart kicks in. Quite a bit of racing to get to the stage end here. And we're going to get doubled up for the restart. Alrighty. Back into the racing action we go here tonight. Looks like a Bad Apple Monster paint scheme on the 92 there of Vince Brent. Definitely very much like the can. I've seen the can before, and it looks a lot like the race car he's got here tonight, the Bad Apple Monster energy machine. Good restart for Vince Brent as he's going to reel around the outside and get to second place, following in line with the 72 there of Matt Bands. Also showing up to the party, Devin Butchino. Already up to third early here tonight. That 68 machine looks stout for Neon Racing. 3 wide for third place. Matt Parasini decides better of it and falls back in line behind. Side by side for the next spot behind him with his teammate Garrett Walden. Oh, and just clipping the wall there, the 92 Vince Brent, but he keeps it going. Nice thing about these next-gen cars, you can clip the wall and keep chugging along like nothing happened. How about that? Holden Wheeler has charged halfway through the field already and back into 6th place. Restarted in 13th, and he's just flying like he's shot out of a cannon. Not worried about wasting those tires here early in the run, especially with a stage break to save him later on in lap 40. But it's like he never spun out to begin with, as he's already back to roughly where he was running in the top 5. Devin Butchino defending now against Matt Parasini. Whoa, 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 68. Butchino gets loose. Very similar spot spot of the racetrack. No, he's coming back into the racetrack
Caution. Yellow
and
flag.
collects. Look like the 27 of Tristan Cotton. Tough break. I really hope that it's not commentary jinx here kicking in as I was watching Devin Butchino. We had the cameras rolling on him. Tough break. They'll have a quick repair in their pocket if they'd like to use it. It's very early in the race here. They may try to hold on with what little damage it looks like the 68 actually got and try to fight towards the next opportunity they can get without wasting it early on here. Well, kind of a pair of solo spinners bringing out our first 2 cautions here tonight. Gives us another chance to slow down and just take a breath, take a breather here. Matt Baines has been enjoying the race lead from the start, doing a pretty good job at it. Vince Brent showing up all of a sudden too, putting himself in the picture. His teammate Parasini pulls off to go to the pits, making a pit stop here on the second caution of the evening. Get off, kind of off strategy a little bit, change it up, shake it up. Tristan Cotton, who is involved in the wreck with Devin Butchino, both of them are down pit road as well. Well, now we're about halfway through the stage under caution for the second time here tonight. On average, about a caution every 10 laps at the moment. Had a pretty good-sized green flag run to start, about 13 laps long. And now this one was a quick 3-lap sprint before we got our second caution here tonight. Well, let us take another gander at the point standings here while we have some dead air time. Of course, Matt Parasini, your points leader, with 1,070 points. Garrett Walden, 1,066. The 2 teammates pretty much were the stars of the show at Richmond. Top 3 for both of them. And we'll see that, the likelihood of them just continuing to do that through the rest of the chase is very high. Matt Parasini, he's going to miss Bristol, and he's been skeptical if he can make all the other races, but it sounds like Bristol might be the only one he misses, so might not be in the cards for him to take the title unless there's someone that stubs their toe in the next race at Fontana or the championship finale at Las Vegas, given that he's in the field. Holden Wheeler only 19 points back, man. It's your top 3 are there for a reason because they share the brunt of the wins. 3 wins for Parasini, 3 for Walden, and 2 for Wheeler. And the only other drivers not in the list with wins would have been drivers that didn't make the chase. Like Joe Irwin had a race win, and we had another driver that won a race or 2 prior and were not eligible for the chase. But here we go. Gonna get the restart rolling here. Pace car zooms off pit road there. And the 72 with a great start. His teammate right behind him, Holden Wheeler and Matt Baines 1-2. Drag racing to turn 1. Now Holden Wheeler all of a sudden went from spinning out, falling to 14th, and he's climbed all the way back up to 2nd. And he ain't going to stop there. He's going to try to go for the lead here with 19 left in the stage. He is in desperate need of as many points as possible. Help close that gap to Matt Parasini. and especially a stage win would help monumentally to catch up to your points leader, Parasini. Parasini has been the ace at these stages, always getting stage points, it feels like. Struggling at the end of this stage a little bit, back to 7th. And almost 3 wide for the race lead, not quite. 72 of Matt Baines is going to hold both of them off. But we're getting treated to some great racing action up here at the front of the field. There we go, the 09 with another good run here. You can definitely see the progressive banking here, the different grooves in the track itself, and also the drivers putting their cars in very unique racing lines against their competitors. A lot of real estate to play with here in Chicagoland. The 09 entering a lot lower than Matt Baines. Baines kind of run the hybrid line between low side to high side. Not quite a Kyle Larson high line runner, but also not a bottom runner, as he's kind of running that middle line on the high side. And it's working. It's keeping him up there, leading all these laps. 26 laps in so far, and I think he's led majority of those, probably at least 25 plus. Biggest gainer early on here tonight, Ryan Gomes up to 6th, qualified in 12th, plus 6 for him. We got some movement in the backfield here. AJ Evangelista dueling it out with Colin Hoffman, your pole setter. He's the biggest drop at the moment as he's fallen back 7 spots from the pole. Lauren Vincent trying to make the pass here on Christopher Bishop for 12th place. And he's going to make it stick. Slide job right in front of the 15 as he clips the wall, trying to avoid contact with the 07. Bishop just got
the yellow flag is out.
4 out there. Slide job did not go perfectly for the 07 of Lauren Vincent. Hard to say. It was one of those situations where maybe his spotter did not give him a correct clear call. You can kind of see him drift up the track here. And maybe even got a little bit loose, slid up the track into the 15. And Bishop just trying to save it at that point, flies through the grass. Second time here tonight. Tough break for the 15 of Bishop. So under caution here with 10 laps left in the stage. Going to leave us with about a 5-lap shootout to the conclusion of our stage break here tonight. Sun is setting in the background. That means the lights will be coming on at the racetrack. It's getting later in the evening. And that also means that the setups will start to kind of change a little bit. At the end of the season here, seems like all the races are at a day to night transition, which adds that extra wrinkle for the drivers to try and not lose their car throughout the progression of the race. Once the track changes, that means you also have to sometimes make changes to the setup. Some drivers may have their setup where they like it for the nighttime and just tough it out for the first first quarter, first half of the race, and then that setup will come alive once the lights come on. Or some folks may definitely tweak it and adjust, pressures and whatever they can, adjust in race on pit road to get the car right for the night. So once we get through this caution, it'll be about 6 or 7 laps to go in the stage. So 6 or 7 lap shootout to get the bonus points for the stage win here tonight. Alrighty, doubled up for the restart here. It'll be 7 laps left to go in the stage. Front row is going to be held by Matt Bands and Vince Brent. Next row back, teammates with the guy starting in second. It's a lockout of the top 4 apart from your leader, Matt Bands with Sentinel Motorsports. Cypress Academy 2, 3, and 4. Pace car pulls off.
Green.
We're back and rolling here. Fight for the stage coming to a close. Great start there for Matt Parasini. I don't know how he does it. Always coming up clutch at the end of these stages. He knows those points hang in the balance. Matt Parasini showing up when it matters the most. And he's going to take the lead here, or try to at least. Got to get around the 72. 72 keeps it on the high side. Maintains the advantage for now, but the 24 fighting back on the inside. Drag race down the backstretch. 24 has his hands full dealing with Matt Bands. It's the Matt and Matt battle, as we've seen so many times throughout the races this season. Matt Parasini closes the door. Matt Bands falls back to second. And with 5 laps to go, Matt Parasini knows that these bonus points are huge in the grand scheme of the championship chase. And he starts to stretch it out here. The one thing, he pitted at about halfway here through half of the stage. Has fresher tires, most definitely, because that is how he got around with speed to get by the 72 of Matt Bands. Bands was looking unbeatable from the start, but that 24 had to take tires when he came down pit road earlier during one of the cautions. And it's paying off. It was a kind of a gamble, because that meant he would have had to give up a lot of track position, but he got saved by another caution to help close the gap again. And with only 4 laps left in the stage, it's going to be hard here for Matt Baines to actually make anything happen. But the stage win is just a that's just a battle. Everyone's going to be focusing on the war, which will be the full 150 laps here tonight. Bonus points, while they are sweet, doesn't amount to a whole lot if you can't finish the race. So Pericini has been the #1 contender when it comes to bonus points. Prime reason he was able to secure the regular season championship, and easily the reason why he still has the points lead now. Baines is going to try to give it a shot here, closing as much as he can. He'll have an extra lap after this one to try and make something happen. Dominantly led this first stage for about 90% of it, just for Matt Pericini to pull the rug from out underneath him. One more lap in the stage here. 72 still has a shot. He's trying to close in on the 24. I almost said 18 because that Skittles scheme, hard to not call it the 18 all those years that Kyle Busch drove the M&M's, Skittles, Snickers, and the like, always in the same candy family there. But your stage winner, it is going to be Matt Pericini, stealing it with strategy.
Caution, yellow flag.
He gets the bonus points and continues to build on that points bundle. Like he's been saying the last couple weeks, he's going to end up missing Bristol. So this goes a long way to giving him kind of a mulligan round. It's hard to get a mulligan in the chase since there's only 5 races in the chase. But he is trying his best to get as many points as possible, knowing that he's going to miss that race in 2 weeks' time. Alrighty, now pit stops after the stage. We'll go ahead, jump to the pit lane camera, see who gets the good pit stops and who maybe flubs it here. Garrett Walden making a second pit stop here. Looks like had a couple folks stay out. Josh Hall must have just taken a quick stop, and Christopher Bishop actually stayed out. So restart here. Going to be interesting with two drivers restarting on the front row. Bishop, after spinning a couple times, I can only imagine had pitted earlier during one of the cautions to get fresh tires and decided or opted not to pit here during the stage break. Interesting strategy for sure. Definitely is going to be a dicey restart with two cars that have not had a chance to start up front here tonight. Josh Hall in second. Parasini didn't lose much ground. Falls back to third here alongside Matt Bands. And you have Vince Brent and Ryan Gomes, your top six. Holden Wheeler, AJ Evangelista, Colin Hoffman, and Devin Butchino rounding out the top 10. All 14 cars still running here tonight, all 14 of which are on the lead lap. Pace car pulls off, and we'll get back and rolling here.
Green, green, green.
Back into the action. Good start here from your lead duo, Josh Hall and Christopher Bishop, but here comes the 24, Matt Parasini, not wasting any time. Goes below the white line on the apron there and drives away with the lead on the restart. Valiant effort, but it's definitely going to be a difficult feat to pull off for Bishop and Hall. Holden Wheeler on the attack. Oh, 15 slides up the track. Matt Bands with nowhere to go. Gets held up just a little bit. He's still clear of contact, but he's going to try to go around the high side. The 15 falls to the inside middle lane there. And Bands safe and sound. Now the battle is on for your trio at the front. Holden Wheeler trying to make a move on Vince Brent for second place. Garrett Walden made his pit stop, and he's all the way back at dead last, 14th on the restart. Hard to tell what the strategy call was for, maybe to get off strategy by a lap, but definitely kind of a mixed restart. 43 was up in the top 5, fighting for some good points, and all the way back to 14th. Bishop and Hall dropping. Definitely a gamble, and it looks like a risky gamble that's maybe going to put them back where they were before they gambled. But the interesting part is they will be off strategy for the rest of the evening if this thing stays green all night long. It could be a game-changing strategy call. We'll see. Bands making a move, get back up to third here, reeling in the Cypress Academy duo, and whoa, he slides way up the track, almost into his teammate there, Holden Wheeler. Wheeler regains third place. Vince Brent closing the gap on his teammate there, Matt Parasini. 100 laps left to go here tonight, 50 in the books. Garrett Walden starting to make some moves now as he's going to get around. Garrett gets around Lauren Vincent for 12th. But now he is a full 6.8 seconds back of Colin Hoffman. And then Colin Hoffman himself is 4 seconds back of Christopher Bishop. That makes up about 10 seconds, 15. He's about halfway off the leader. So Garrett Walden will be more than likely hoping for a caution here to get things stacked back up. Anthony Strickland rolling around on the apron there, having to come down pit road for some service. Alrighty, battle brewing here for the race lead. Vince Brent putting it right up to the back bumper of Matt Parasini. This has also allowed Matt Bands to start closing in. Great battle for the top three as Bands gets in alongside the 92. Ah, man, we get a caution. As that was getting racy, we were getting some good action for the race lead there. Well, let us dial up the butt kicker replay to see what brings out the caution here. Our third caution. Alrighty, so here is the 27 of Tristan Cotton. Goes for a wild spin, comes flying through the grass. It's, I think, the third time we've seen that here tonight. Cars are just a little bit on the edge of out of control. Almost a carbon copy of the other spin out we saw with the 15 of Christopher Bishop, just this time with Tristan Cotton. So another break in the race pace here brings us under caution once again. And if anything, the action was just picking up there, so I can only imagine each restart is going to be just as frantic as the last one.
Green, green, green.
Back and rolling. Matt Pericini with a great jump gets the top spot away. And all of a sudden, Holden Wheeler back in the mix here as well. Some different faces up at the front of the field on this restart.
Caution, yellow flag.
Alrighty, we're back under caution here again at lap 63. And it did look like maybe Holden Wheeler might have been involved here. We'll go ahead and dial up the butt kicker replay once again. Tough break for Holden Wheeler. Holden Wheeler has been knocked around here tonight. This is the second time involved in a spin or a wreck not of his necessary doing. He's right there, this time with another Cypress Academy car, the 92, instead of, I want to say it was the 24 earlier tonight. No, it wasn't the 24. It was the 43, I think, of Garrett Walden that had bumped him, got him loose. So Holden Wheeler getting some hard hits here. Tough break. He's going to have to come from the back once again, as he's done it once. He can do it. He could do it again if he wants to. Definitely probably hopes he didn't have to do that, but he's proven it's possible. And he's on pit road. Lights have come on at the racetrack as we are still shy of halfway. So the story definitely is the adversity that's being thrown at Holden Wheeler, your Rookie of the Year leader and a contender for the chase, as he is putting on a show here tonight. Alrighty, well, we're going to get back to it here. Pace car pulls off. Matt Parasini, Colin Hoffman, Lauren Vincent, your top 3. Followed by Tristan Cotton and Christopher Bishop in the top 5. Great start for Parasini as the cars around him may not have all the pace. A lot of the faster cars are trapped in the back. The likes of Vince Brent. Holden Wheeler didn't lose too much ground. He's all the way back into 7th. After spinning, you would have figured he'd been all the way back to 13th on the restart there, but no, he's in 6th place, making hay while he can right out of the gate. Parasini, though, building that advantage over now. Lauren Vincent in 2nd. Ryan Gomes up into the top 5. Top 3, actually, as he gets around the 77 of Colin Hoffman. Holden Wheeler goes way high here, staying on the Kyle Larson line, riding up against the wall. Gets alongside Colin Hoffman. That'll be for 4th place. Matt Bands also making up some spots here, getting into the top 6. It's a tough day for Garrett Walden. I don't know where his pace is, but definitely an uncharacteristic night for the 43 team as multiple restarts, and he's still trapped outside the top 10. His teammate there, Vince Brent, trying to make a move to get up into 11th place. Josh Hall in the top 10 with Tristan Cotton, Christopher Bishop, Devin Butchino, Colin Hoffman in the top 10. Matt Bands, Holden Wheeler, his teammate, both of them in the top 5. Neon Racing's Ryan Gomes. And how about Lauren Vincent, adoptive into the Cypress Academy this year? I think maybe a full-time gig with Cypress Academy, kind of a switch. We had been with a different team last year, but this year taking full advantage of Cypress Academy and their expertise, as it has definitely been a game changer. Putting him in positions to fight for race wins, consistent and basically, just meticulous. He's been able to survive some really nasty races, put himself in positions to gain as many points as possible at the end of a night. And just like this here, on restart, starting in the top 5, and he's holding on to 2nd, holding his own, and even slowly catching up to Matt Parasini, his teammate, ahead of him. As we're still short of halfway here tonight, definitely going to be at least one more round of pit stops. Maybe 2, but we'll see. I think only truly one pit stop could get them all the way to the finish here tonight. On the apron, Anthony Strickland rolling. It has been a tough night for the 21 team. They're just trying to get some reps in, get a feel, and try to finish this race out under power. 4 laps down at the tail end of the field. Other than that, everyone else still on the lead lap, 13 cars, with all 14 cars still under power and running. Well, Parasini holds the position now over Matt Bands as Bands got by the 07 of Lauren Vincent. Vincent now having to defend against Ryan Gomes right there behind him. Pair of biggest gainers at the moment. At this point in the race, halfway through, 8 spots to the good for Lauren Vincent and 8 spots to the good for Ryan Gomes. Colton Hoffman has gotten hit the hardest as he's fallen back 9 spots from pole position here tonight, all the way back in 10th. Make that 11th as he's now dropped a 10th spot back from his starting position. Things have kind of got stretched out here. Battles are not as intense as the last round before that caution came out. Had a 3-car fight for the front of the field, and it was getting really good, getting really exciting. Things have kind of mellowed out a little bit here. Bands, though, trying to close that gap on Parasini. Run a contrary line to the 24 and making up the difference as he's now cut off another 10th of a second down to 0.6. Oh, and Vincent's losing it behind them. Right out of the corner of our eye there, you can see the 07 spin out in the top 5. We're going to go ahead and dial up the replay and see how this happened. So as you can see here, fighting 3 wide with the 09 of Holden Wheeler and the 55 Ryan Gomes. Wow. Maybe the car just jolted loose. I don't know. That was a weird move from the 07. Let's see if we can maybe get an idea from the drone cam here. Let's hop in the in-car cam too and see what we can see. Steering full left, as you can see here. Tries to straighten out. Yeah, I think it's just one of those situations where the car veered a little too far to the right. Didn't give any extra steering input. I think the aero, just the car, kind of the air off the car made him jolt to the right and into the traffic there of Holden Wheeler. No blame on that one. That was just tight racing gone wrong. But yet again, it's Holden Wheeler in the wrong spot at the wrong time here tonight with a with the Cypress Academy car. Vince Brent's the only one that has not made direct contact with Holden Wheeler that is in the Cypress Academy bunch. Not trying to start anything here. I'm just delivering the facts. The statistical facts are that Holden Wheeler has been involved with 3 incidents here tonight with 3 different team cars from Cypress Academy. Can't write this stuff. I can't make it up. This is just how it's played out here. And Holden Wheeler has dropped to the back and moved to the front thrice now. And he's going to have to do it once again. So Holden Wheeler, he is putting on a hard charger award of hard chargers here tonight. And we'll see if he can close it out or if he's going to continue to get snake bit. Ryan Gomes gets to restart on the front here.
Green flag, green flag.
And Bands gets away with the lead here after a brief battle with Ryan Gomes. Devin Butchino now up to second, and here comes Vince Brent as well. Neon Racing running 2, 4, and 5 as Josh Hall is showing up to the party as well. And Butchino wants a little bit better than second place as he's looking to try and get alongside Matt Bands for the race lead. Good push here. 68, not quite close enough to make a move, but the battle, we might start seeing that 3-dog fight, maybe even a 4-car fight for the race lead here, as these cars all seem to be on an equal playing platform. All 4 of them showing kind of the same pace, very differing lines. All lines intersect with one though, and that is number 1 position that they're looking at. The 72, he can shake it up and, you know, slice and dice and run different lines, try and get them off their toes. But the more they change it up, the more they start to learn what works for their car. And that 72 just has to play the defense role at the moment. Vince Brent takes over sole possession of second place, and here he is sneaking into the picture with the 72. Good run by the 92. So race number 1, and of course I do not want to throw out that commentator's jinx, was won by a Kyle Busch tribute car. The 24, Matt Parasini. Man, no, I'm mistaken. It was Garrett Walden that won last week. My bad. And Parasini came in second. So never mind the little statistic that I was going to throw out there, because it's... Now I feel like I'm just talking out of my you-know-what. Let me go back into Chrome here and get the rundown on points. Richmond was yes, Garrett Walden did win. So that was my bad. Sorry about that, folks. Garrett Walden was your winner last week. He did not have a tribute scheme, but, well, if we're looking at trends and trying to develop trends, maybe that could happen again, as Matt Parasini was in the top 3 without a win, running Kyle Busch tribute scheme. Well, we also got Matt Bands in a Kyle Busch tribute scheme. Now you kind of see where I was going with this. But heck, if I'm trying to put trends together and not jinx people, hopefully they can do better than what I'm forecasting here. 72 looks stout and very much a threat for the race win here tonight. Whoa! Butchino got loose. Your race leader gets loose and loses it. Vince Brent wrecks from the
yellow
race
flag
lead
is
there.
out.
And Parasini comes through in second. Garrett Walden now up to third. Walden making up the big gain here as he's figured out what was wrong with the car to get it up into the top 3. Well, shoot. That was a wild stretch of the cars. You could see the energy up the front of the track was getting kind of chaotic there. Dial in the replay. Right out of the race lead. Just the arrow on that car got a little bit out of sorts. And here is the replay. Yeah, just loses it all by himself. It's amazing no one else gets collected here. And Brent, he's going to have to use that quick repair more than likely to get that car right. Well, Bands re-inherits the lead as it's now Bands, Parasini, and Walden, your top 3. So yeah, at Richmond last week it was Garrett Walden with the win. Parasini came home second and Vince Brent came home third. For Garrett Walden, he got bonus points and stage points last week at Richmond, so double down on the points that you could acquire for a grand total of 57 over Matt Parasini's 48. Garrett Walden falls back to 6th here. Must have been some pit stops that happened. Yeah, there you go. Pit stops, including the 43, the 55, and on back. Doubled up for the restart. It's going to be Matt and Matt. Front row once again. Colin Hoffman back up into the top 5 here. Christopher Bishop hanging around up at the front on these restarts, definitely trying some alternate strategies, get that 15 in a position for a better finish than what it has been. And good spot to restart in the top 5 here. Matt Parasini has control. Bands wants to take it from him.
Green flag, green flag.
We're back and rolling. Bands with a heck of a great start there. Jumps way ahead of the 24 and is going to be able to close the door on Bands on Parasini. made a mistake there saying that Parasini was in control. I forget that they get to choose. It's not always the inside line that is the control car, as you can choose to go on the inside or the outside. Bands was the leader at the caution, so he was the control car, and that's how he was able to get a good start right out of the gate, because he had the control. But Parasini on the attack now. Side by side for the race lead. Here they come down the front stretch with 53 laps left to go. Garrett Walden has worked his way up to third here, getting by Christopher Bishop for that position. Josh Hall running in fifth. Butchino and Gomes, the trio for Neon Racing, fifth, sixth, and seventh. Holden Wheeler is, at the moment, laps down. There must not have been enough time to repair the car from this last incident, as he is on pit road, laps down here today. Anthony Strickland, I think, is about 3 or 4 laps down, 2 laps. So Wheeler has fallen 2+ laps down out of the race. And this championship getting out of reach for the 09 team. The good thing is he's still very much in full grasp of Rookie of the Year honors. But with that here tonight, that's going to hurt his situation in the fight for the chase. Parasini has the lead now. Here comes Garrett Walden looking for second. Matt Bands trying to defend. 43 though has got a good run. Can't quite remember which year it was, but I want to say it was like 2010. I remember a year where Tony Stewart basically said he didn't belong in the chase. And all of a sudden, you know, shows up in the chase. I think won about 5 of 10 chase races. What was it? That would have been 2011, I think, because it was the year that him and Carl Edwards went down to the last race at Homestead and ended in a tie. Okay, he didn't win that many races in the chase, but definitely had mentioned that he felt like he didn't belong, and then ended up winning the championship that year over Carl Edwards in a tiebreaker, where he had more wins that season. Oh wait, I was correct. He won 5 races that season, and all 5 of which came in the chase. So kind of where I'm going with that, obviously when you're hot, you're hot. When you're not, you're not. And for some of these drivers, you know, last week's race is momentum into this week's race. And Garrett Walden, you know, the winner at Richmond, kind of been saving his, you know, his energy for this point in the season, where he knows that this means a little bit extra. I mean, he could have, you know, definitely won as many races in the regular season to help build that cushion. But all of a sudden, the gloves are off, and Garrett Walden has been showing up to these races with one goal in mind, and that goal is to fight for the race wins. He had fallen all the way back to 14th at one point here tonight.
The yellow flag is out.
Struggling, and saved his stuff up to get back in the mix with 50 laps to go. We're under caution for yet another break in the race. And this caution is brought out by the 81 of Josh Hall. Loses it on his own, right in about 5th place there. Tough break for Josh Hall. No one else gets tangled up in it. No harm, no foul. 81 just loses up all that track position he had, so he'll have to drop all the way back to 11th. So yeah, if momentum is a key factor here, you know, clearly we don't have 10 race chase in the SCSRA Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series for season 12. But Garrett Walden waking up, you know, I don't know personally if you would have asked him before the chase started if he would have felt the same way Tony Stewart did. But the game changes. Once you get into the chase, everything ramps up to 11. And the drivers, they know it too, that they got to step up and perform. It's just like when you're in the playoffs in NASCAR, you got to perform just a little bit differently. But instead of the way the playoffs used to be, where it was an elimination round every week, you might be sitting comfortably in the top 5 of the final 16, and you don't have to push near as hard. Well, with the chase, there is no, you can't just slow down and take it easy. You've got to be full throttle to the ground all season long at the end of the year here. No lifting, just full send. And just like that, 43 gets the top spot from pits. Pit cycles here put him to the top over Devin Butchino and Matt Pericini. Vince Brent, AJ Evangelista, that's your top 5. Looks like we also missed a scenario here that Lauren Vincent dropped out of the race. I did not catch that. Must have been when he spun it out. But he is credited with 14th. Holden Wheeler credited with 13th. Anthony Strickland still out there trying to pick up laps throughout the race here to get back on the lead lap. So 11 cars left running on the lead lap. And Baynes pulls down pit road here. So Anthony Strickland down to only 1 lap down, so another caution would put him back on the lead lap. And here we go, front row, Garrett Walden, Devin Butchino on the restart. Kind of hit the shuffle button from earlier, right at about stage 1 here tonight. We saw the 3 Cypress Academy cars running 1, 3, and 4. Well, now it's kind of the inverse of that with the same 3 drivers, 1, 3, and 4. This time, Garrett Walden, the leader. He's got teammates behind him, friends up front with him to fight for this race win. But how nice do you play with each other, especially when the chase and points are up on the line? Butchino, on the other hand, doesn't really have, obviously doesn't have much help in those 3 around him, but he's got Gomes in the 55, not too far back. Great start for that outside line. Vince Brent gives the 43 a good push. But Butchino is going to defend and hold on to 2nd place with his sights set on the 43 ahead of him. Oh, Butchino gets up into the wall. He's able to recover, though, and keep rolling. Gets a little bit of a bump draft from the 92 of Brent. And did not lose 2nd place, as he still got another scuff against the wall. That 68 using every square inch of the racetrack. 40 laps remaining. Garrett Walden, the race winner last week at Richmond. Butchino, we definitely remember that very emotional race win at Talladega last month. This series had paid tribute for season 12 here to his mom, Tammy Butchino, as it has been now known as the Tammy Butchino Memorial Cup Series here, 2026 season 12. His eBay store has been the primary sponsor of the SCSRA Cup Series, and putting on a good run here tonight in Chicagoland. Gets used up there a little bit. Matt Parasini alongside of him. I don't think Parasini did anything wrong there. It's just hard racing for the top spots. And Butchino has been glued to that wall multiple times here tonight. But he's keeping it going. Keeps rolling and gets back around the 24. Great battle for second place here as Parasini has his hands full with the 68. Gomes getting back up into the top 5 here. He's got AJ Evangelista to deal with for 5th position. And Vince Brent now looking for 3rd. He's going to get 3rd from his teammate there, Parasini. Garrett Walden has built a pretty comfortable gap here over Devin Butchino. That 43 looking tough to beat. He's worked his way back to the front after spending a good portion of tonight's race back at the tail end of the field. Was starting to wonder if there was something wrong with the 43's setup here tonight, as he had been struggling to show the pace, and maybe, just maybe, he was playing poker here tonight, keeping his cards close to his chest, not letting the rest of the field know what he had in the tank. So if anything, this 43 kind of a stunner here tonight, showing the resurgence that is possible. Holden Wheeler definitely had that resurgence thing going on as well here tonight. Drop to the back thrice, race to the front thrice, and this time it just was too much for him to deal with, and has to pretty much retire with 13th. Not going to be getting the points he was hoping for. Definitely had a car to fight for the win.
The yellow flag is out.
Well, we're under caution here at lap 117. And I believe it's going to be the guy that needed the caution to get waved around back onto the lead lap. The 21, Anthony Strickland, was only 1 lap down. He's been waved around to get back to that position here tonight. Loses it and slams into the wall hard. Tough hit for the 21. Looks like he's going to drive away, but I think he's already had to utilize his quick repair here tonight, so that car might be donezo. Well, another break in the racing action here tonight. We are slowly creeping towards the 2-hour mark in tonight's broadcast. Talladega and Charlotte both at 2 hours plus in duration. We might be flirting with that distance yet again here tonight at Chicagoland. Oh, and it's going to be hard for Garrett Walden to maintain this lead. Everyone in the lead group there pits right behind him. Risky gamble for Garrett Walden to stay out here. Everyone else decides to take advantage of this opportunity. A 40-lap push to the finish and fresh tires, full tank of gas. They are hoping this is the last that they need to deal with a pit stop here this evening. Some folks followed Garrett Walden by staying out. You have Tristan Cotton, Matt Bands, Christopher Bishop, and Colin Hoffman all staying out. That'll leave your top 5 on old tires, old gas, with a 30-lap push to the finish here. For Garrett Walden, those 4 cars act as a very good buffer to keep him separated from the folks that did come in for fresh tires on this pit stop here. Is it going to be enough of a buffer, though? We already know that Matt Baines has the pace to keep up with the lead, so maybe Matt Baines might have something here for Garrett Walden on their strategy alone. We'll see. The lights should go out on the pace car this time by. Well, we are left with 11 cars still running here tonight. Anthony Strickland, Holden Wheeler, and Lauren Vincent all down for the count. Walden decides to take the outside for the restart here. That'll leave Tristan Cotton on the inside, and he's going to be hooked up on the high side with Christopher Bishop. Band stuck on the low side behind the 27 there, Tristan Cotton. How about that? Vince Brent back in the show after getting spun and damaging the nose of that 92. He's right up here in the mix. He's off strategy more than likely because of that caution where he was involved with hitting the outside wall. 3 wide, 4 wide, wrecking. Oh, and he saves it. Christopher Bishop. That may be the save of the night, as he did not lose control of that car and kept it pointing forward. And saves us from having to go under caution yet again here tonight. Tristan Cotton defending on the inside over Matt Bands, but he's going to get around. Here comes the 24 of Matt Pericini. Good push from his teammate, Vince Brent. Garrett Walden's got the lead. 3/4 of a second over Matt Bands. But Bands is now defending on Pericini, who is hard to knock down even when things go against his strategies. He'll find a way to bounce back and fight. Well, last week it was a 1-2-3 with Cypress Academy, and it looks like they could potentially be in the talks to pull it off again. And crazily enough, with the same 3 drivers even. There you have it. Vince Brent looking for 3rd. That's the one interesting thing about this chase is if your drivers keep running up front, you know, locking down the podium positions, there's not really anyone running away with it. I mean, even if Garrett Walden wavers even a little bit, that would leave room for the likes of Vince Brent to pounce and put on a fight for the championship. Obviously, Pericini is going to end up giving up some points at Bristol. So this championship still very much wide open. Unpredictable as to which one of these three will go the distance. Battle brewing for the race lead. Pericini has caught up to the 43 of Garrett Walden. Side by side, 25 laps to go. Pericini has fresher tires. We know that because Garrett Walden stayed out while everyone else behind him pitted. That buffer that he had of 5 cars between him to the 24 is now erased. Gone. 24 looking to take the lead away from his teammate. Walden's going to fight back on the high side, though. Still a lot can shake out in 24 laps left of racing. Butchino in the mix now with Matt Bain still holding on solidly to third. Garrett Walden losing some ground to the race lead as Pericini starts to build the advantage over the rest of the field here. Top spot for the 24 team. Oh, and Garrett Walden's losing it, and they're going to wreck. Oh, and it's going to be a nasty wreck. Oofty. Some heavy hitters involved in this one. Second, third, fourth, fifth. Don't know how many of them have fast repairs left in their pocket. We'll have to dial up the butt kicker replay to see just how bad this went. We're going to run it at slow speed here. 43, we saw this with a couple other drivers tonight that just loses it on the exit of turn 4 here. As he slideways bumps into the 68, and the 68 loses it. His car goes up the track. Vince Brent with a quick repair already used here tonight. His night might be done. 55 of Gomes involved in that one as well. His car might be out for the count. He might have a quick repair in his pocket, though. But the hard one definitely is going to go to Vince Brent, who wrong place, wrong time. Gets taken out with his teammate there. Oh, man, the 68 of Butchino goes for a wild spin down through the grass. Let's watch the camera on the 68 of Butchino here. Just a tough place to wreck. Never a good place to wreck anywhere, but that one collected some pretty big names in one spin of the track there. How about the 05 here? Let's watch his in-car cam and see just how close this all was. Slides through the grass just a little bit, saves it, and keeps it going without making contact with the wrecked cars there. So AJ Evangelista up at the front half now in second place, right behind your race leader, Matt Pericini. Vince Brent is able to get the car fixed and rolling again. Garrett Walden is still on pit road. Devin Butchino also still on pit road here. They're going to lose a lap. That is going to be a hard hit in the championship chase. As you can see the leaders rolling around them. Gotta imagine they must have used up their quick repairs as they are trapped on pit road here with 19 laps to go. 1 lap down now. Tough break. Well, the hits keep on coming in the chase as drivers that are up there in the mix, Garrett Walden, Holden Wheeler, and Devin Butchino, are having a rough night here in Chicagoland. With 19 laps left to go, they're still trapped on pit road. Title hopes are not completely up in smoke. Still early in the chase, but at the same time not very early at all, because 5 races will go by in a blink of the eye. Pericini gets a great restart here. Tristan Cotton fighting for a podium finish in the top 3, as well as AJ Evangelista. And how about Christopher Bishop? He knows that he can start closing that gap on Holden Wheeler for Rookie of the Year. And if he can get a top 5, maybe even a top 3, that would be huge points in his pocket to maybe start making that Rookie of the Year battle a little bit more interesting. Well, 17 laps to go. Pericini leads the way over AJ Evangelista. Ryan Gomes, even after being involved in that wreck, he's back up to 3rd. So 9 cars left running. 5 cars out for the count. Here comes Christopher Bishop to get up to 3rd place here. Matt Bands follows in line right behind him. AJ Evangelista is keeping it close. No, Bishop's losing it. Christopher Bishop spins through the grass. I think he's going to save us from getting a caution, as he's going to get back on the racetrack without losing it completely. So the battle is on with 15 laps to go. Tough break for Bishop, who was fighting for a top 5, maybe even a top 3 if he could have got lucky there. The gap starting to grow in the favor of Matt Pericini, as he's now up 7/10 over AJ Evangelista. Yeah, amazingly enough, Matt Pericini might be building up enough of a points nest. We have mostly your big heavy hitters knocked out here tonight, and Garrett Walden and Holden Wheeler 2nd and 3rd in the points. Pericini himself is going to be able to start building that gap over 2nd and 3rd place. We will definitely, I think, see him at Fontana next week. Should be in the field, it sounds like, unless something came up. But if he gets the points that he needs here tonight, rolls into to Fontana next week, he might be able to rest easy, missing that Bristol race if he's got enough of a gap built up. That championship at Las Vegas could be interesting, could be wild. AJ has fallen back 9/10 of a second back. Matt Bands has now worked his way up to third. For Bands, it's going to be probably just a little too short, a little too late. That 72 has been stout, led a bunch of laps at the beginning of the race, but not able to get back to the lead and fight for the win here as we're down to just 10 laps left to go. 1.3 seconds back for Bands. He's going to have to get around Evangelista and start building on catching the 24 of Parasini. But if anything, this could be his last shot to fight for the win here tonight. 9 laps. Could make something materialize here. That 72 has been running some alternating lines from the rest of the field and is showing some extra pace that the others haven't. Devin Butchino got the car fixed. He's back out there and rolling, but many laps down. 12 laps down for the 68 of Butchino. AJ Evangelista tries to block the run, block the advance for Matt Bands, but Bands is going to run around the outside and try to get second place. Side by side, they come down the back side of the track. Whoa. Evangelista gets right up alongside the 72. A little bit of side drafting going on there. And while these two are duking it out side by side, Parasini starting to build that gap even more over second place. Matt Bands takes over sole possession of the second position, but now he's 1.2 seconds back of Parasini. He's going to have to knock off about 0.2 a lap or more to catch up to Matt Parasini. And he's not able to make up much of that gap at all, as it's still 1.2, 1.15 seconds, the advantage for Matt Parasini with only 4 laps to go. Well, the Rowdy paint schemes are running 1-2 right now. Tributes to Kyle Busch. Matt Parasini mentioned how he would have liked to have gotten this one to victory lane last week, but it just did not materialize. Well, he's gotten 4 more shots, including tonight here, to put that Rowdy Skittles tribute car into victory lane. Only 3 laps to go now. He's got a really good cushion. The only thing he does not want to see is a late race caution, as that will force overtime and the ever unpredictability of pushing it past regulation here. 2 laps to go, though, at the line. He's got a good, comfortable bubble over Matt Bands. If he sees the white flag, then the race is official, and it will be a complete race, whichever flag comes next. Coming around turn 4 for the second to last time here tonight. White flag in hand, waving the flag man invites him into the final lap of tonight's event. Parasini has the lead, 1.18 seconds back is Matt Bands. Bands nowhere in striking distance. Matt Parasini is going to make this one look easy here tonight, fighting tooth and nail to get that 24 to the top spot and hold it there. He had his teammates rival him here tonight, but none of them are going to be able to beat the 24. Parasini takes home race win number 4 in the chase here. First race win in the chase, 4th win on the season for Matt Parasini. And of course, the Dynamite Creative Co. 24 machine, they approved the Rowdy tribute scheme here as you see it. His wife Joanna runs the Dynamite Creative Co. and helps sponsor the 24 team here. That 24 always has some very, very great looking paint schemes, and that one really takes the cake. The 24 Skittles tribute car for Kyle Busch. Rowdy. And he's going to go ahead and celebrate his victory here tonight. Right there at the start-finish line. He's going to burn it down. Cypress Academy did not get the 1-2-3 finish that they were hoping for here tonight. Everything kind of came unraveled under that last caution where most of them got involved in the wreck. They still had one bullet in the chamber with Matt Parasini getting the job done here tonight for the team. He's burning it down for Kyle Busch, the Rowdy 24, celebrating his win here tonight. Builds up a nice, neat little points stash here from Chicagoland that's going to help his situation with the chase. A second last week at Richmond and a win here tonight. He's got the best average of all the chasers just because he was the only other one to finish in the top 3 here tonight from last week. So here are your final results from this evening at Chicagoland Speedway. Parasini and Bands take the top 2 spots, followed by AJ Evangelista, Vince Brent and Ryan Gomes top 5. And then it was Colin Hoffman, Josh Hall, Christopher Bishop, and Tristan Cotton. Devin Butchino, Garrett Walden, heartbreak for those two. Anthony Strickland and Holden Wheeler also tough breaks, with Lauren Vincent the toughest break of them all, finishing in 14th. We're going to go ahead and dial up our post-race interviews for our podium finishers. First time here, season 12, we're going to interview the 05 of AJ Evangelista. AJ, it's Jacob in the booth. Do you copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations tonight on a top 3 finish. How'd you feel out there? You kind of came through at the end and survived all the carnage and chaos. How'd this 05 machine feel, and what did you do to get the podium out of it?
I just kind of felt like I backed into it. I mean, that caution before to set it up kind of helped a ton. But just staying consistent all night, running consistent lap times, not trying to get too much out of it with limited tires and, the short fuel windows. So all in all, just staying consistent helped tonight.
Well, and you're pretty fresh to the season. We didn't see it the start of the year, and so halfway through season 12, you started showing up, and you had speed. You've had speed week in and week out. Is this your first ever podium with the SCSRA, or am I missing prior years? Have you run with this league before?
First in the next gen. It's second total. I got one already in ARCA earlier this year, so 2 podiums in the same seasons.
Nice, nice. Yeah, so was Chicagoland one of those tracks you kind of had circled on your calendar? I felt like Chicagoland was definitely more unpredictable because most people didn't have any existing data on the track. What about Chicagoland resonates with you?
You know, your guess is as good as mine. Just kind of loaded into the practice server earlier and just started running laps and saw that, we were top 5 on the board. And I'm like, well, we might be all right here. Who knows? Who knows how the cards fall?
Right? Well, yeah, no, podium here tonight, first in the next gen, and we still got 4 races left this season for you to try and get a couple more. Any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank for getting you to this point?
Yeah, shout out to the family. Shout out Beer Money Racing if any of those guys are watching. And thank you all for tuning in.
Awesome, my dude. Yeah, enjoy this one. Celebrate, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club Speedway.
Thank you. Y'all have a good night.
You too. And we'll go ahead and dial up your second place finisher here tonight, Matt Bands, who brought it home here, the 72 machine. From second position, pulling it home in second position. Matt, it's Jacob in the booth. Do you copy?
Yes, sir.
Well, congratulations on a second here tonight. You definitely had a dominant stint at the beginning of the race here, leading a plethora of laps right out of the gate. And seemed like there were some altering strategies going on around the track, a little bit of tough breaks as well that kind of shuffled you around the track. Kind of walk us through it. What got you back up to second and secure this podium finish here tonight?
Saving a set of tires. That was all about my strategy, and I, was talking to Holden and Anthony, and we were just talking about our strategy, and I kind of had a good one that almost played out perfectly, and I was lucky that I saved my fast repair and a set of tires for that accident, and I was able to just, you know, go in, take a set of 4, and just kind of drive through. I wasted my tires more than I should have. I should have been more patient, but it was a ticking clock, and I was just trying to get to Matt as quick as I could. But just saving a set of tires really helped at the end.
Yeah, that was definitely the big game changer here, it seemed like, because it brought you back into the fold right at the end there. It seemed like every restart we hit the shuffle button and there was a different cast, a different crew at the front of the field. And it was more of like luck of the draw sometimes where you would shake out on each and every restart. But with the next 3 races left to go here in the regular season, how are you feeling with Auto Club, Bristol, and Las Vegas?
2 out of 3 I'm incredibly confident for. I love Auto Club. I love how it drives. It's just a bigger version of Chicagoland in a way, kind of like Michigan. They're similar. Las Vegas, a mile and a half. I'm pretty decent at those. I know for a fact that I can get a really good finish there. Bristol, that's where my asterisk is. I'm not very confident because it's going to be a long race, and 2, I guess long, and it's not really that long. It's only 200 laps, but it's just going to be staying out of trouble, keeping the car clean. I mean, it's a track where if you get 30 seconds of damage, you can go 2, 3 laps down in a blink of an eye. So it's just trying to keep that car clean and surviving. I hear you say it a lot, but it's just about surviving.
Well, I can agree to your Bristol statement because even 50 laps at Bristol can feel like a lifetime sometimes. Short track there, I mean, it's rough and tumble. If there's a bunch of cautions, that definitely slows the pace down, and yeah, it's going to be an interesting one. I think quite a few drivers have Bristol kind of question marked for the chase here. Definitely the wild card race. Kind of like if we had a super speedway, I feel like Bristol takes the place of a Talladega or a Daytona in the chase. Definitely dig your Kyle Busch tribute car there, kind of a dual scheme with paying tribute to his years with Rick Hendrick and, at the end here with Childress. Pretty cool to see the Kyle Busch cars finish 1-2 with, only 3 races left now. I mean, the chase, there's not really much room for mistakes. So how are you feeling in the chase conversation? Are you going to try to put up a fight here and hunt down the guys up front, or is it going to be one of those things where it kind of has to come to you?
Yeah, it's a mix of both. I mean, credit to Matt. He's putting on a clinic, and his teammate Vince is incredibly fast as well. So those two are always up to towards the front, and just gotta, I guess, play the luck card in a way. If kind of like tonight where the 43 had just wrecked, and we capitalized on that by he was coming in for what I think four ahead of or 15 ahead of us. So I think I might have been able to close that a little bit, especially with stage points. So I think that I'll be very confident in trying to put up a good fight, especially with the tracks remaining. I know that Sentinel is really fast at those tracks, so we're going to put in some laps, put in some practice, and just try to, get down to it.
Yeah, totally. It's going to be an interesting one. I'm excited for this chase to play out. So at the end of this interview, any friends, family, sponsors you want to thank?
Yeah, I want to, start with my family, man. Parents they're always watching and sending me texts, saying good job and all that. So I want to thank them for all the support that they give, and I want to thank my lovely partner who also is just immensely supportive no matter what, and just always loving and caring. And I want to thank the team, Sentinel Motorsports. We are doing our absolute best, and it is paying off immensely. And Sharn is working a whole lot behind the scenes, and me and Holden are trying to hold the fort down and just do our absolute best, and gotta appreciate those guys. And I want to thank you in the booth for putting this on every week. It's always fun to listen to you.
I enjoy calling it, my man. Have a great night. Enjoy this podium finish, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club.
All right, thank you, sir.
And now we're going to go ahead and hop over to the race winner here tonight, Matt Parasini, getting the job done for his 4th win of the season. Jacob in the booth, do you copy, Matt?
I do.
Well, congratulations on securing race win number 4 here in Season 12 of the SCSRA Cup Series. Tonight was definitely, there was a lot going on, a lot of alternating strategies. You kind of took that first stage, come down early, and you could tell that the fresh tires definitely made a difference to get the stage win from the stage here tonight. Kind of walk us through your night and how you got up to the top spot.
Well, I mean, it was just we ended up getting completely off pit cycle. I mean, in the first stage, I knew right off the bat when I pitted, I didn't have the tires to win the stage. And I mean, with the way this chase format is, you've got to maximize points. You absolutely have to maximize your points. So I knew I had to do something different than what the other guys did. I came in, I pitted, and we got the stage win. But of course, we actually had a tire deficit today. We only had 4 sets laying in the pits. Normally we would have 5. So that put me at a bit of a tire disadvantage. So I had to do some alternate strategies to the other guys based on my tire allotment. And with about 30 to go there, I had to take my last set of tires. I didn't want to take my last set of tires, but I knew I had to if I was going to have any chance at it. And luckily we got a couple cautions that was able to let me cool them off and preserve them a bit, get back to the front, and then ultimately get the win, which is the most important thing. The chase wins are everything right now.
Yeah, no, and it was definitely a tough break for your teammates who at one point it looked like you could have got a 1-2-3 finish yet again here tonight, but it was all for naught. Walden involved in a wreck there that retired him in 11th, but Vince Brent was still able to bring it home 4th, and so he still got 2 team cars in the top 5. Definitely, you've been talking about that team championship, which I'm sure you guys still have a pretty pretty healthy lead in the team championship side of things. But it probably hurt a little bit tonight not to have the team all up there at the finish.
Well, we all had the speed tonight. I mean, I think Vince probably had the best speed out of all of us on Cypress tonight. He was flying. Garrett and I were very close in speed. I hated the fact that, the setup with this car at Chicagoland, with how bumpy and everything it is, the car is on the ragged edge just about every lap that you're coming off of turn 4. And if you hit the bump wrong, you're going to be in a world of hurt. I figured that out in practice pretty early on. So, and even during the race, I hit that bump a couple times and it got a little squirrely. So, hate it for Garrett. He was having a great run. Happy that Vince was able to recover. Lauren, unfortunately, got involved in a wreck as well, and he had to retire. So, it was a good night. We ended up getting the win, but we always want more. But you're right. The team championship is very important to us at Cypress Academy, and as long as one of us is winning the race, we got a good chance at it.
Oh, for sure, yeah. No, and like you've been saying, you're going to end up missing Bristol here in a couple weeks, and this is definitely going to help keep your points, the points bucket for yourself, so that maybe missing one race won't hurt too badly. And I'm sure that's, it's kind of null and void at this point since, Bristol. But, I mean, tonight, another great points night. You're going to start expanding on, maybe even being able to have a mulligan in this chase, which most people, as we were looking at, would not be allowed even a single, like an inkling of a mulligan. So definitely looking good here. So I feel like it could get interesting here. This championship, you'll get a lead here, and then it'll kind of shrink back up. Las Vegas is going to be pretty wild, I would imagine.
Yeah, it will be. I mean, at the end of the day, if we end up winning the championship, that's just going to be the icing on the cake. With having to miss a race, I'm not expecting that to be the case, because that is going to be an uphill climb no matter what, especially if we only have like 12 or 13 cars showing up. That makes it where even the last place driver is still going to have a pretty good point today. So, it is what it is, but at the end of the day, I am very proud of the season that we've had with this Dynamite Creative Coach Chevy. Really, really, really excited that I got this rowdy paint scheme in Victory Lane. Mike Wheel from Mosh Customs absolutely knocked this thing out of the park, and we had kind of a rowdy kind of night at Chicagoland, and it felt pretty good to put that car in Victory Lane.
For sure, I couldn't agree more. Getting the rowdy car to Victory Lane here tonight. You already given the shout outs, but go ahead and shout out for the rest, the friends, families, all the sponsors that got you here.
Yeah, I mean, again, I always have to thank my wife, Leanne, and daughter, Johanna, for letting Dad come out and play with the boys. Again, thanks to my wife, Leanne, and her company, Dynamite Creative Co. She's just getting started with some of her art designs and everything like that, and just got her store like up and running about a week ago. So I don't have the link to tell everybody where to go yet, but if you look up Dynamite Creative Co., you'll likely find it, and you'll find a couple designs up there that she's done, and go get yourself or your wife or your daughter a t-shirt. It's mainly geared towards young ladies, so go get yourself a t-shirt or a hoodie, help support her. Big thank you to all of my teammates at Cypress Academy. I mean, Jesse, he put this group together last year, and he has been probably the best team leader that I have ever raced for. He's helped me a lot with my racecraft, and I really hope that he's seeing what he's taught me really come through this season. But it's just all the support, from Vince, from Lauren, from Garrett, from Charlie. All in all, it's just great bunch of guys. And, thank you to the admins of SCSRA. They do an amazing job. I know it's not easy all the time, but they do a great job with what they can. And thanks again to you for doing the broadcast. Really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you again, my man, for putting on another great race here tonight. Thanks for all the shout-outs and everything, and we'll see you next week at Auto Club. Best of luck.
Yeah, you betcha. Thank you very much.
Well, that is a wrap here tonight from Chicagoland. Matt Parasini starting off this chase with the best average of them all. A second and a first. Basically the average of a 1.333 or 1.5, or it's something very close to a 1. But 24 will be missing that race at Bristol, and he's just going to try to race for all the wins he can in 4 out of the 5 chase races this year. Should be good. Definitely tune into these last 3 races. You ain't going to want to miss it. Auto Club will be a treat. Bristol will be awesome, and Las Vegas will be the top of the board cinema. So thanks again, everyone, for tuning in. Thanks to the SCSRA for putting on a great show. Thanks to Intensity Broadcasting and the opportunities presented to me. Feels like, it's an amazing opportunity, and I can't be thankful enough for what Intensity Broadcasting has given me an opportunity to do here in calling these iRacing events. I love it, and I hope you too. I hope you do too love it, because these shows are worth the watch. So have a great night, everyone. Stay safe